Well, I'm glad that Attorney General Pam Bondi has stepped in here. This is something that I've been fighting for years, going back to when I was a member of the state legislature and this law passed in 2019. And I highlighted a number of issues with it. First of all, the governor's idea that a Customs and Border Protection agent, let's say at our northern border, would have to get a judicial warrant if they wanted to scan plates of a vehicle on the New York side is ludicrous. How does somebody actually do that? These are things that are happening in real time. Okay, there's a suspicious vehicle. If they're trying to catch a suspect of a crime, if they're trying to do an investigation, oftentimes that DMV database is really helpful in these investigations. That's number one. Number two, tens of thousands of people in our city alone are individuals who have committed crimes. They're illegally here, and here is our government giving them the opportunity to have a government-issued identification, okay? That's number two. Number three, we've seen crimes committed by illegal immigrants, whether it be a hit and run. We saw a police officer in California killed by somebody who was driving a vehicle and he was here illegally. And you have other crimes as well. Drunk driving. They just deported an individual from New York City. So why are we giving people in the country illegally these driver's licenses and more importantly, a government-issued ID? And the last thing I want to point out is that Kathy Hochul thinks there's too many cars on the road. She actually hit us with a congestion tax in New York City to drive into Manhattan. Too many people on the road. Why are you giving illegal immigrants these driver's licenses, adding to the congestion, and then hitting your citizens with this congestion tax to drive around New York City? Yeah. So there's a lot of different issues here. And there's also the issue of automatic voter registration, which is now happening in New York. Days after they passed this green light law, they also passed an automatic voter registration, which your applications automatically go for voter registration unless you opt out. So now you're counting on these individuals to understand that application. Maybe they don't speak English well. They didn't understand what they're signing, and this thing goes to voter registration, which has also been a great concern that I brought up.
So I know yesterday, and I want to talk about voting here. So yesterday, New York's top court heard arguments to allow non-citizens to vote in elections. How is this up for debate? If I go to France, I can't vote in their elections, nor do I want to. But why would we allow this in our country?
You're absolutely right. And this is, again, the Democrats deny that they want illegal immigrants, non-citizens, to vote in our election, yet these steps that they take prove otherwise. And they have, by the way, I'm a lead plaintiff in this lawsuit to stop non-citizen voting in New York City. We won in court twice, at the state Supreme Court, in the appellate division, and just this week we went to the Court of Appeals because New York City Council Democrats, they seem to not care about using your tax dollars to continue to fight this and insist that non-citizens should be eligible to vote in our elections. It is diluting the voice of citizens. It is unconstitutional. It is against New York State election law. And we expect to win again in the highest court in New York State, despite the games that our governor has played in changing the bench around. We believe that we will win because we're winning on merit and we have solid legal ground here.
Yeah, Congresswoman, I got to ask you about this real quick. I don't usually quote the New York Times, but they say that New York Mayor Adams may consider running for re-election as a Republican. The deadline to file with the Board of Elections and change his party affiliation will be tomorrow. I mean, do you think he would have any chance of, A, doing this and winning as a Republican?
Well, as the highest-ranking Republican in New York City and somebody who did run for mayor against Bill de Blasio in 2017, I would say that the party would not be interested in having Eric Adams switch affiliations to Republican. Again, he has embraced sanctuary cities. He's the one who used our tax dollars to put up illegal immigrants in luxury hotel rooms and then hit us with the bill. He's the one that increases the property tax levy year after year. He has said nothing about New York City's congestion tax that has been imposed on us by Governor Hochul. We are not interested in having him be our Republican candidate in this year's election.
Well, I guess we will find out tomorrow. We'll see what he does. Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Well, it's a busy day on Capitol Hill with confirmation votes and hearings.